Immigration is at issue.
Have their voices heard and respected.
In the upcoming midterm election. Relief for a neighborhood still dealing with debris.
They knew it was a problem. Why didn't they solve the problem?
A month after Ian. And the relaxation of yoga at a serene South Florida location.
Just to enjoy the gardens here.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Elena Key.
I'm Kelly Sanchez. Today is Friday, November 4th, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
From dreaming to deciding, newly naturalized Americans hoping to have an impact on Tuesday's midterm election. Immigration has become an important part of election conversations. Newly naturalized voters in states where races could decide the balance of power are being encouraged to have their voices heard.
Reporter Michelle Morris from our D.C. Bureau is in Washington this morning.
According to the National Partnership for New Americans, naturalized citizens are now 1 in 10 eligible voters in the U.S. And now there are more than 5 million new multicultural, multiracial, and multi-generational new voters nationwide since 2016. Community leaders are hitting the pavement and knocking on doors to inform new citizens of their rights and why their vote matters. One of those leaders being DACA recipient Fatima Flores Lagunas, the political director for SHRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. Although she cannot vote, she wants to make sure the people who can exercise their right.
I can still motivate people that can to get out to vote, to also stand up for their community.
The National Partnership for New Americans has been a part of an effort to track the number of new voters in states like Florida, Arizona, Nevada, and Pennsylvania due to the crucial races taking place that will influence state policies on a wide array of issues such as education and abortion rights.
Issues like the economy, health, abortion, school safety, and other of the high issues for the population in general are some of the issues that are propelling new American voters to the polls in November.
The growing demographic of naturalized citizens has the potential to become a deciding voting bloc as ballots are counted. Jerry Gonzalez, the CEO of Galeo, a nonpartisan group that encourages Latinos to go out and vote in Georgia, being that their governor and U.S. Senate seat races are very close.
Many times when we go to doors, we are the first contact inviting Latino voters to come into the political process and to have their voices heard and respected.
Studies show that new American citizens from minority groups such as Latinos and Asians have a higher political participation rate than their native-born counterparts. In Washington, D.C., reporting for South Florida Media Network, Michelle Morris.
With 4 days left before midterm elections, Democrats and Republicans are trying to rally their bases as voter enthusiasm about the midterms wanes. Nicole Castañeda from our D.C. Bureau has more information.
28 million early votes have been casted in 46 states, but a CNN poll showed that Democratic enthusiasm has lowered since 2018 from a 44% to a 24%, even though Republicans are not as excited as they were 4 years ago with a 44%, voting today is at 33%. The stakes are high and the clock is ticking.
Vote, vote, vote. Look,
President Joe Biden is pulling the heavy hitters ahead of the midterm elections as he and the Democratic Party try to motivate people to cast their ballots in 4 days.
The only way to make this economy fair is if we, all of us, fight for it. The only way to save democracy is if we together fight for it.
Representative Liz Cheney, who's not only supporting a Democrat for the first time, is also telling Americans to stay away from the status quo.
We're going to look beyond partisan politics. If the people in our party are not doing the job they need to do, then we're going to vote for the people in the other party because we are Americans above all else.
Some Republicans are feeling confident about what will happen on November 8th.
This is our year. The Democrats can't run on anything they've done. People don't like what they've done.
There is no clear winner in the Nevada or Georgia races. Arizona shows Democratic Senator Mark Kelly in the lead with 51% against the 45% for Blake Masters. And in Pennsylvania, Democrat John Fetterman is slightly ahead of Republican Mehmet Oz, 49% to 44%. And former President Donald Trump also rallying support for Republicans in different states.
Go out and vote up and down the slate. Vote for Republicans, good, great Republicans.
The National Society of High School Scholars says Gen Zers are enthusiastic about the midterms and they're most concerned about racial equity, economy, and the environment. From Washington, D.C., reporting for the South Florida Media Network, Nicole Castañeda.
Southwest Florida residents this morning still dealing with the debris in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. After a month, homeowners near Fort Myers were furious that crews didn't show up to clean out the debris when there was clearly a need for it. Those crews finally showed up this week.
I said the guy from Wake News was down here. They saw it on TV. They knew it was a problem. Why didn't they solve the problem? Well, they didn't know because nobody signed the right of entry form. Now they're getting all of our trash out of here.
Now the required entry form has been signed and crews are showing up, cleaning up the mess Ian left.
It's a common antibiotic used to treat a broad range of conditions, but as the network's Natalia Lorenzo reports, amoxicillin is now in short supply.
A shortage on the shelves. Across the U.S., some local pharmacies having trouble filling prescriptions for amoxicillin.
Because of the surge in respiratory infections, we think it's causing an increase in demand for the antibiotic amoxicillin, and particularly pediatric dosage forms, which include suspensions, form of an oral liquid, or chewable tablets.
Michael Ganio with the American Society of Health System Pharmacists says that while amoxicillin wouldn't be used to treat a viral infection like RSV, some may develop secondary bacterial infections that require antibiotics. If you can't get your prescription filled,
there or with their prescriber to find another pharmacy that might have the drug in stock, there may be a different concentration or dosage form that's available. But there's also several other options that can be used as far as antibiotics go.
COVID-19 mitigation measures, like masking, lowered rates of other infections, so some drug companies say there had been little demand for the medicine during the height of the pandemic. Since the antibiotic is made when there's a demand for it, the companies need time to catch up.
There are some allocations, meaning the pharmacies can't order up more than what they normally stock. So that can make it difficult to meet the full demand that's out there right now.
I'm Natalia Lorenzo reporting for the South Florida Media Network.
Halloween season may be over, but the Fall Festival continues at the Flamingo Road Nursery. The network's Daisy De Leon reports from Davie.
Flamingo Road Nursery is a 10-acre home to various plants, pottery, farmers market, and a lot more. During the holiday time, they specialize in events to bring the community together, putting their spooky twist on not just your average pumpkin patch.
So during fall, we have Fall Festival, which runs from the beginning of September to November 10th, I believe, and that's pretty much every year. During Fall Festival, we have the hayride available for the kids and adults, people of all ages, and then we also have pumpkin painting. We have the Shriner come out and set up their toy life-size trucks that are available for photo shoots. You really get a lot coming out to the festival. A lot of pumpkin patches just have the pumpkin patches, but we have activities that can really make your experience into a family tradition.
Keeping the festivities going throughout the year, whether it's for the holidays or not, the nursery has interactive educational lessons on all different plants in the garden.
Garden talks throughout the year, mainly summer and spring. So each weekend we cover a different topic of plants. So one weekend we'll do indoor plants, and next weekend we'll do outdoor plants and landscaping plants. And each weekend we have an expert in that area talk about kind of tips and just basic care tips for people who want to learn more about a specific area of gardening.
The nursery prides itself in offering something for all ages.
That's something I don't really see a lot of people doing at other nurseries.
Friends and family gather in flocks around the Fall Harvest Festival at the Flamingo Road Nursery. The spacious nursery offers an authentic experience with farmers market, fountains, pottery, and plants of all kind. In Davie for South Florida Media Network, Daisy De Leon.
The Florida Panthers are on the prowl after their away game against San Jose Sharks. The game looked like it was leaning towards the Panthers as they made a goal in every period while the San Jose Sharks hadn't scored at all in the first two. But in the final period, the Sharks were able to tie the game with 3 goals in the final period, sending the game into overtime, where the Panthers scored the winning goal The final score was Panthers 4, Sharks 3. The Cats will stay in California to face the LA Kings tomorrow at 10:30 p.m.
FIU students became $2,000 richer after breaking record at yesterday's Walk on Water event. On Thursday, FIU hosted its annual Walk on Water event at the Modesto Midi campus. Students from the school and other architecture programs in the state participated in the race, where they put their homemade water shoes to the test. The record-breaking winners were Andre Morgan and Jorge Tabla.
Drake making a surprise appearance in a South Florida classroom.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
The farmers markets on Sunday here at Vizcaya is incredible.
In yoga, you find peace from within, but it doesn't hurt to be outside. In one of South Florida's most peaceful settings. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
It's yoga poses in paradise, and Miami is the place to find it. Organizers are pairing up yoga with Vizcaya's weekend farmers markets.
The network's Claudia Morales caught a class last Sunday.
A yoga mat and community support are all you need for a peaceful Sunday morning in Vizcaya Village. The ancient practice that combines body postures, meditation, and deep breathing is now a popular activity at the farmers market.
So the purpose of the yoga class is really to have a sense of community. The farmers markets on Sunday here at Vizcaya is incredible. So to start your day and have a 10 a.m. yoga class where you can just bring everyone together, and then to end class right at lunchtime and go get to just explore all the local vendors and just to enjoy the gardens here.
The hour-long class hosted by the Urban Oasis Project accommodates up to 50 people of all levels in the outdoor gardens.
When I found out about the yoga class outside, oh no, that was like a completely new level, and I just loved it ever since. I've been to every single one.
Those attending the yoga class can stroll the farmers market afterwards and shop for art, clothing, and different healthy foods such as cheese, breads, and juices. A picnic area is also provided to sit down, enjoy meals, and the scenery.
Farmers markets are a real special space for people to actually connect with each other, to have conversations, and to meet their neighbor, and to build community.
The nonprofit partners with local farms and businesses to provide the community with affordable organic food. The Urban Oasis Project hosts its free yoga class and farmers market every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. In Miami, for the South Florida Media Network, Claudia Morales.
A Canadian rapper made an appearance at FIU's Biscayne Bay campus yesterday. In a video posted on the university's TikTok page, Drake can be seen making quite the entrance at the Covens Conference Center. He was at FIU to visit a class called the Grutnam Experience. It is taught by Professor Dave Grutnam, who is known for bringing in celebrities to make guest appearances.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Kelly Sanchez.
I'm Elena Key. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.